Hello, hello, hello. We got some Mass Effect music tonight because that's what I feel like. We got our The Dice Giveth and Dice Taketh Away shirt tonight, along with the Atlanta Braves hat, as per usual. I need to get my hats. Um, we're just going to try some mouth farming here, basically. Do some warrior keys. So I'm going to take all 13. Well, I've taken the warrior through already. So this is character number 2 that I'm trying to take through Ashes of Alar and for Memoron's Head, because those are the only mounts that I care about in this whole shebang. And so we're gonna push to get some of these characters through. Run straight to Kael'thas. And depending on what the keys look like for tonight, I might run a character or two through Dazara lore. Trying to get the Jaina mount, because that's another one that I wouldn't hate having. Yep. There we go. Glacial Tidestorm. It's a cool mount, so that might be one I'll also go try to chase here as we enter the second half of this event. For the Collector's Bounty, the raid team is done for the season, so we're just working on figuring out our Season 3 roster and what last recruiting needs that I have to take care of. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a heroic alt raid so that people like me on my warrior can uh, can get any last minute crests, things like that that are needed for the uh, season. And then slowly but surely over the course of this week, away from the stream, I'm going to be doing some updating, added a new bit alert. So if you want to buy some bits and submit that, you can hear some K-pop Demon Hunters, because I've really been obsessed with that soundtrack lately. I watched the movie over the course of the last couple of days because I had heard so many good things about it. People that are like, I'm not even a K-pop or an animation fan, and they enjoyed it. I have gotten a lot more into anime over the last few years, beyond the ones that I used to watch as like a kid. I would watch, obviously, like Teen Titans. I watched Dragon Ball Z, X-Men 97. I watched, a lot of the old kid shows, obviously the old Nickelodeon shows, of course, too, but in terms of more like straight up anime, so got all of that I've been doing. So something like K-pop Demon Hunters is actually something that has been kind of intriguing to me, because it's just a style of animation that is kind of right up my alley, and then the music banged, like really banged. I wasn't so worried about my YouTube channel getting absolutely destroyed over playing the music, I would play it. But I have a feeling that because it's still very hot on Netflix, that it won't happen. So, or that my channel would get absolutely destroyed. Also, I don't know why this is right here. Probably because it's not attached to any particular raid frame. Spinner solo. Come on, Kalos, do your thing. I know we're on a timer. It's always the part that takes the longest. But I'm in the early stages of writing my monk guides and in the early stages of writing my warrior guides. I'm basically just figuring out what my structure on them looks like. And here, let's give me some extra. Oh, I'm up at 30 minutes. I'm not even at 100,000. But I'm in the early stages of writing those guides. There's just a few things that I got to do. I got to go basically um, research some trinkets, and then on for all the DPS and healer and tank specs. Like I haven't really paid attention to the trinkets so far. Oh, 536 million, just a small number. But so I got to look that up. There's some talent questions out there that I still have that I'm trying to get cleaned up. Talking to some people that I trust on those matters that have played a lot of PTR and stuff like that. Um, the current potential Brewmaster build is going to be absolutely disgusting. To the point that like I'm not even sure I want to play it. Disgusting, because it's just bad. But the Windwalker build is probably not changing that much, nor is the dual wield versus two-handed aspect. So it's all right. We getting lucky with ashes? We are not. Whatever. It's fine. Um, and the Mystery River build is there's still some variables, but it's probably going to be very similar to what you played beforehand because the tier set is so based off of hero talents. Your influences basically are going to be off of that particular tier set, or your builds are going to be based off of which one you're playing. The good thing is that uh, for with the exception of Brewmaster, you're still probably playing the same hero talents that you played in season 3 for the other two specs. Windwalker, there's some potential for Shadowpan to make a return. It's going to largely depend on the percentage of the tier set, and right now they're close enough that you're still probably playing Conduit, even though Shadowpan defensively is a little bit better. Mistweaver, you're probably playing Conduit and Raid and Master of Harmony and uh, in Keys, as we have for majority of this expansion. So that's not uh, anything different there. And then like Brewmaster, it's probably going to be a little bit of both, unfortunately. I don't like that it's that way. I'm, I played Shadowpan almost this entire expansion, but Mark of Harmony is doing a ton of damage right now. In fact, let me see if I can find the screenshot. There is a screenshot somewhere. It's probably in this Discord. What the hell? Oh, that's. There we go. Let me scroll back up. It's going to be a while here. So yeah, so this is a damage breakdown of what we're looking at. Literally, Master of Harmony is the top 3 of your damage, and then it's Tiger Palm. So yeah, that's like very, very gross. Like it just kind of speaks to the fact that Brewmaster's damage profile is very, very broken because it continues to rely on borrowed power for the majority of its damage. And it has been that way for a couple of expansions now. Or it relies on trinkets to be the majority of their damage. And so it's just like, it's really rough. And like, yeah, hero talents are talents, but I mean, the hero talents are technically borrowed power. Flurry Strikes, the rumor right now is that I haven't seen a damage log for it that's been public that's worth a shit, but like the breakdown that I've been seeing on that is that Flurry Strikes is something like 50% of your damage, which is just absolutely gross. Let's see which one sells the most. 134. This one. So, like, we hate that. But, so yeah, they just really need to rethink the Brewmaster offensive kit. Like, defensively, it's actually feeling a lot better. Like, I played it in like a 10 key on PTR, and I forgot to record it because I'm an idiot. But like I played it on PTR, and that's sure. Let's see, it's not the right side. Nope. What has this? Oh, is that? Appreciate it, man. I was like trying to figure out. I forget my own alerts because I don't hear them all that often. Appreciate you very much for following the Twitch stream, man. Appreciate you lurking. But they just really need to rethink the offensive kit of Brewmaster. Like Keg Smash Breath of Fire is like a good starting point. The problem is that Keg Smash's damage has been pretty awful recently. And Breath of Fire has done like almost no damage for multiple expansions now. Like it didn't do a lot in Dragonflight. Like it's because it gives like that 5% DR. And I think because of that, like they're afraid to buff the damage on it because then it just becomes like so mandatory. But at like the same time, like it should be like it's on the left side of the tree. It's nowhere near what you would think a core rotational ability should be. And yet here we are. Not having, core rotation ability so that you can get your cooldown, which is just completely overtuned at the moment. So like, yeah, I'm very frustrated with the way that the damage profile is looking right now for Brewmaster. Like I hope they reevaluate it heavily uh, in Midnight. Windwalker, its main issue right now is like it's really good single target, but I think a lot of that's based off of this current tier set. I think if you didn't have this current tier set, I'm a little bit worried about how it's going to feel. Because like the Fist of Fury buffs that this current tier set does are just like ridiculous. We'll look at it when I go to stuff on the monk, but we'll go from there. For Evoker, actually, I think this Scale Commander build in Raid has got a lot of potential. Um, I haven't looked at all the fights in Maniforge Omega, but if there's like solid two target fights, like there's a chance Scale Commander actually comes through. Flame Shaper, I think, is still going to be really good for things like Mythic Plus and for Raid and stuff like that. So I don't think we're getting away from that, but I would love for Scale Commander to be more prominent next season than it was this season. Like it has some very niche applications on something like One Arm Bandit, where when the ads come out, you could get good three target cleave off if you positioned well enough. But at the same time, like I used it on Rick as well, just because it felt better to have that type of prio damage uh, on the ads when they came down, because that was like one of our big problems that we had as a raid team. So I switched to that build just to play it a little bit better. But other than that, like you played Flame Shaper on everything, and I mean Flame Shaper does incredible burst damage. It really does. But at the same time, um, like it's just a situation where it doesn't really do anything else. I feel like you have incredible burst damage when you're got your tip the scales, max flame breath, two charges of engulf. Like you can do ridiculous damage on pole, like we were seeing. Uh, Under who's the evoker in our guild, and he plays it better than I do, frankly. He was hitting something like 20-21 million DPS off of pole, basically from just his opener and pulling threat on buses with 3 misdirects on our tank. Like that is bananas. Brand, are you broken? Oh, do I need to actually jump in one of these sons of bitches? Fine, we'll go jump in the demolisher. Hello? Bran? Alright, I gotta come down here to kick him off? Like, what is... He bugged? I think he's bugged. Alright, well, luckily we're right at the start. Um, what was this? Oh, the War Saber. But, like, in between the engulf perks, like, it just doesn't feel like you do a ton in terms of damage. Like, you just feel kind of mediocre, and then you have these incredible burst periods. I generally hate that playstyle. I've been on record for a long, long time that, to me, I really love consistent damage profiles, which is why for like a long time Windwalker, let's see if that fixed things. Which for a long time why Windwalker was like so fun to me, because it was a consistent damage profile, even if it wasn't good damage for a long time. Hello, Brand. You good, sir? Oh, okay, I guess I gotta reset this since he's bugged. I don't know why this happens. It's the third time that it's happened to me in the last like week and a half, where Brand just doesn't do anything. What he gets for being in the dells all the time. But I love more consistent damage profiles. So specs like Fury Warrior, Frost DK, in a way, Demonology Warlock. Um, Frost Mage is kind of that way right now, where it's a very consistent DPS profile. Even again, not very good, because it's the worst DPS in the game right now, even below Og Evoker. Guess I should wait on this. Um, but even like Arms of Fury, I think, and that's why DPS Warrior has always been like, it's I guess like it's a spec that I love because like, but like I love the fact that like I can do. It's working this time, but I can do some pretty consistent damage like every pull. Like yeah, I mean when I have Reckless into Ravager into Thunderous Roar into Avatar, like I can do some like really really big giga damage. But at the same time, like I'm also like completely capable of what's the new mount that I got? Oh, I forgot to learn Outland Engineering so I could get that one mount. Whatever, man. But but like you know, I can do. I mean, depending on the pull size. So like most standard pulls, which are generally anywhere between 5 to 10 mobs, as like Fury Warrior, I can consistently do in the you know 3, 4 million, 5 million range. Then when I have cooldowns, yeah, you can burst up to like 7 or 8, or even on very, very, very big pulls, like I bursted up to 9 million, 10 million in some cases. Uh, but without the cooldowns, instead of hitting like 4 million, I'm at like 3, 2.9, 2.8, something like that. So it's a very consistent damage profile, and I really enjoy that. Like it feels good to kind of do good damage on every pull rather than doing damage on like every other pull. And people will be like, oh, Ret Paladin would be of interest to you. I just don't vibe with Ret Paladin all that much. Wait on them to come after me. Cool. Got one of the two that I was looking for is this Mantle of Fiery Vengeance right here. I like the way that these shoulders look. I like the way these look. So I got one of the two, one of the main ones that I was looking for. So that's good. But but no. So like I always love doing stuff like that. And it's kind of the same way with like my healing preferences as well. The reason that something like Mistweaver and Sorry, answering some questions. But excuse me. But anyways, what was I saying? I forgot. Whatever. So I kind of talked about it a little bit on social media, anything like that, or I'm sure people that are watching me have heard me talk about it in Discords and stuff like that. But I did go to Orlando this past weekend. Absolute blast. Really enjoyed it. Meeting a close friend of mine that we kind of grown to be like brother and sister. Uh, and I got to meet her mom, and her son, who's 18 months old or so right now, and he's an absolute doll. Absolute doll. Uh, I'm out of range to get that. Well, that's unfortunate. Um, like, really, really adored me after he warmed up to me and stuff like that. So he's an absolute cutie. So just getting to meet her finally for the first time after we've grown so close online, um, 1000% worth it. And then I went on a mini golfing excursion because I was just waiting to kill time before I went to dinner at Medieval Times. Uh, so I just like, hey, there's like this mini golf place that's like right across the. Just go tell. Ooh, I like that. Uh, so I was like, I'll kill time, 36 holes of golf by myself. It'll take me like maybe hour and a half. And then I ended up hanging out with, after playing like 3 holes, I caught up to this group of dudes that were playing, who like college frat boys, most likely. Um, and they came by and like they were like, dude, you're hanging out with us now. So, which was fine. I was perfectly content doing that. Like, dude, I'm getting some of the mogs I've been looking for. Let's see. But so I hung out with them. It was honestly, it was like kind of fun because like we were just a bunch of dudes. Like, they were obviously asking me questions because I'm like quote unquote the new guy to the group. So they're asking me questions about like where I was coming from, what I was doing down here, stuff like that, and you know, nice. 2 more mogs, we like that. Okay, I don't hate that. Um, okay, activate that so kill Avalon again. Not that he has anything important. I'm here for Mim's head, but um, so I had fun with them. Like, it was a blast. Like, we were just making. It's kind of one of those things where you think about like everything that you would think of with like a group of college kids hanging out. Like, what do they talk about? It was that, and like then some. Like, obviously they talk like athletics and stuff like that. They're students at the University of Florida, so they're obviously like hyped over their college basketball national title. They're looking, curious to see how the football season's gonna go. I remember that trinket. Um, it's cool. Ooh, is Kath live? Yes, she is. Let's go tune into Kath. No, I'm gonna be tab. Sorry, so I stay as a viewer. Um, but no. So did that. It was a lot of fun actually. They talked to them about college life. They were actually like quite polite to someone that was 10, 12 years older than them. In terms of like what was like the college life experience for me versus uh, versus kind of what they were experiencing. Like what are like I mean they would like straight up ask her like what are if you could go back and tell yourself you know uh, but but they actually asked some like interesting questions. Oh, nice. Been looking for that stuff. I love this stuff. I just like the lightning effect on it. But like yeah, they were asking questions. Like what were some of the experiences like in a bad job market? Because they obviously knew I basically came out of college in the 2008 recession. Even though I graduated high school out of the 2008 recession, rather. Wrong way. Um, and then so obviously in a down economy with job prospects not looking too hot, like how did what was that like for me as someone that was in my early 20s at the time, and kind of honest with them about the history aspect of it, and how like because I am obviously a history degree, so like I was kind of honest with them about what that looked like, and I didn't sugarcoat it. Like it sucks. Like like right now the job market is a lot of people are like we're desperate to hire, we're desperate to hire, we're desperate to hire, and then you actually get out in the job market and like you're applying to these positions and nobody's replying, and you're like, I thought people were desperate to hire. And the truth of it right now is that people don't know what things are going to look like. Hey, Bella. And so, like, telling these kids basically that it's like, be prepared that, like, your life might look like living with your parents for a few more years. And, I didn't scare them, but, told them, if you happen to catch something that's in a good spot, like, hold on to it. Like, I know it's easy to, like, quiet quit and stuff like that, the first time something goes wrong, but if they get a position that it's like good work and it's in their field or whatever, keep it. So it was like a totally enlightening experience. They were really, really smart kids. Like they did give me hope for the future. I the one guy he was a political science major. He wants to get into politics. Like that's one of his goals, which kudos to him. Um, but we kind of talked about it, and luckily he shared a lot of the same political views that I did. Uh, but even he was like, how do a lot of my friends, family members and people back home are, they're that are my age are claiming that they're too smart to be brainwashed by stuff, and then all of a sudden he's like they're spouting like these Gen Z. Ooh, I already know that one. Damn. Uh, but I'll take the Mog. A couple of Mogs there. I'm getting a lot of them. But and he even asked, he was like, "Have you noticed this like trend with Gen Z?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have," because obviously, they knew as a history major, and so they assume a lot of that is political history, which is true. It is. Like when you study history, you do study a lot of the politics of things. Like there are specialties, obviously, with things like the military history, which I studied a lot, where you're not necessarily talking about like the political side, but you're talking a lot of like strategy, tactics, and things of that nature. So it was really cool. Like I got to teach them something, they kind of taught me something, and at the same time we had an absolute fucking blast playing golf together. Did some wacky things. Dude, I'm getting all the pets out of this dungeon. I swear, I think I've gotten all of them now. But it was just a fun time, and it was a completely random encounter, and it was all because they just saw me playing alone, and they're like, we don't want that for you, and they decided to like step up and allow me to like be part of their little group and stuff like that, and it was very kind. And then Medieval Times was fucking fantastic. Like I recommend to any and everyone to go to one. There's a bunch of them. Obviously Orlando. I think there's one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, of all the fucking places. But they're just a lot of fun. It's just a good way to have like you kind of embrace if you embrace like the kind of over the top ridiculousness of it all, then it's like a super fun time, and you just kind of let yourself go for a little bit. Like I'm not someone that generally sees themselves as like this over the top public persona. Like I'm not this golden retriever type personality. I don't think, at least. But I'm not like a super black cat personality. I'm kind of in a weird way in the middle of it all. But but like you just get the opportunity to like get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and like nobody truly cares, because like when you go to a show like Medieval Times, like you kind of have to embrace the kind of the I would call it the revelry aspect, where like everyone's there just to have a good time, and there's competition involved because you want to cheer for your knight and you want them to win, and so like there's these like so there's that aspect to it where you want your knight to win, you don't want to see the other knight succeed, and in my case, the black and white knight, which was the section that I was in, I had two women behind me that were basically short. The only thing they didn't do to try and get our dude's attention was throw their bras at him. Because holy shit, they were lusting after his ass. I mean, he's a pretty man, objectively. It's, the Red Knight also got a lot of lust. But, but it's a fun show, you just kind of enjoy the aspect of it. Like, I started a thing where basically when our knight did anything good, my whole section started, like I started it, and it kind of went down the row, and then it spread to the rest of the section where we do this thing where we shout huzzah. Uh, so it was just like a really cool thing. So like, he hit the target in like the spearing competition thing. We'd all shout huzzah, and it just became a thing. And like he was laughing at it at first because like it's not the type of thing that you expect. but uh, because like obviously every audience is going to be unique in their own different ways, and that was the way that our section kind of differentiated themselves, I guess. Uh, the food is pretty standard. There's no menu outside of the drink menu. It's just like a roasted chicken, half a baked potato, some bread, some tomato soup. Uh, what's the button? Uh, with like a basic pastry as a dessert. It's not anything big. Obviously, the novelty is that there's no silverware. They have Pepsi. Uh, and I was hoping that I'd get a lady waiter so I could flirt with her most of the night. Unfortunately, I was one row too far forward. Uh, but the guy I had was pretty spirited dude. Absolutely adored the fact that I was starting this Cesar chant. Like he's like, dude, I'm gonna start encouraging my other sections to do that because it's just like it's perfect. Uh, so just a lot of fun in that regard. Uh, but like I wanted to flirt with my waitress most of the night. Of course, it didn't happen. But I ended up at least having a little bit of what I dubbed the charisma check moment because obviously, and you paid attention to the appearances of medieval tournaments. A lot of it was, and there's truth to it, and it's why it's like a stereotype in shows that are set in medieval times, or the the dubbed like ancient high fantasy or whatever, or the medieval fantasy. Show's a good time. Some really cool horsemanship up there. Some really cool. They have someone that's like a falconer. Obviously, the knights themselves do. Oh, good, the pulse baton. Love that mace. Pulse baton. Yeah. Um, but obviously, the knights themselves are ridiculously talented. Like very, very talented men that do that stuff. Because between the horsemanship, the ability to wish they would let me jump that. Forgot they put these invisible walls here. It's stupid. But but between like the full scope of the horsemanship that they have, and the skills and talents to do that, and then also do the sword fighting, like that stuff is 100% like the physical intensity that goes into all of that is kind of amazing when you think about it. Uh, and obviously, there's they get some downtime between it, but like you could tell after they do a jousting battle of some kind, like they're fucking winded, dude. Like that stuff is hard. So I respect and appreciate that at the very least. already had that? I didn't think I had that one. But hello, my friend, Kath. Good luck. Her guild is in the race to world last, trying to get CE. Although she's already said, and I think the guild's already agreed that like they're probably done as a guild after this. Alright. Oh, I hate this one. Okay. Get them. Alright. Memoron's head. I don't think I got it. No Mim's head. Well, we get the fragment of Valinir, I guess. That's something. Alright. We Hearth on this team. Oh, wait, let me. So. Shroom QT. God, is that your bot that's following me now? Oh my god. That's funny. Probably grab the Demon Hunter, because that's another one that can get through both of these quick. And then I'll move to try to do some keys for the rest of the night. And I'll work on the other characters later this week. Like if my son wants some quote unquote alone time, I will Warbound. Oh, it's Soulbound. Fuck. Okay. Also, Bella, I want you to know I'm very proud of you for how you handled everything at the dentist today. I've got to switch mine. They're trying to charge me like $500 for a cleaning. I'm like, yeah, that's not how this works. Yeah, $500 for a cleaning. I'm like, nah, fam. We'll do Ulduar first this time. No, they did X-rays the last time. They're just, it's just overcharging me. I think they, like, I've asked them to like give me a pricing breakdown because like if it includes something like another filling or something like that, then like, okay, I kind of get it. But like all like when they made the appointment, they're like, yeah, this is your they call it a hygiene appointment, and I'm like, okay, so that's basically just the cleaning and some other basic check work because of my periodontal disease that I have. But like that's all included as part of the quote unquote cleaning. And go from there. So I've been thinking about leaving. Is that with insurance? Yeah, that is with my insurance. Now, like my dental insurance isn't the greatest, unfortunately, through my work. Um, but there's like another place that's like pretty new, so I've got a feeling like they're gonna be a little bit different, like with potential customers and stuff like that. Be more lenient on costs or something like that. So I'm gonna check with them. And they're like 5 minutes from my house, so like if I need to, like if I once I get to a point where I can like work from home, if my boss deems me performance enough to be able to do it. Uh, Wait, is this on 10 man or 25? Oh, 10. Let me fix that. But yeah, so I'm arguing with them over it. Oh, why can't I change this? Hello? Whatever. I think you can still get it in 10, right? Yeah, you can still get it in 10. Cool. Oh, there's my phone. Felt it go off earlier. I'll do that soon. Oh, sweet. How about no? Have to buy a PS5 controller because someone chewed up the hubbies. Tell your husband that he doesn't need to get angry like that. I'm Gracie's attorney. He did nothing wrong. My parents are in Vegas right now because of my grandfather. He's in the hospital, unfortunately, at 92 years old, so we'll see what happens. But they're like, yeah, the local news said it was going to be a humid day today. The humidity was 22%. Like, that's humid to them. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. It was 90% humidity today because it rained a little bit yesterday, and then it rained while I was on the drive home and checking on my parents' dog and all that. And so the humidity when I got back from getting my Texas Roadhouse was 100% again, and it's still over 80 degrees at 8:15 at night. Bring it on, boys. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I'm like very aware. Like it's like a different level of heat or a different kind of heat. That's not a bad looking fist weapon. It's gonna be gloriously cool tonight at 60. Dude, I wish. Humidity is 70%, no air feels thick. Yeah. Yeah, once it gets above like 70% or above, especially if you're not used to it, it does feel like it feels like you're in a sauna in a way, in terms of like the way that the heat or the way that the air feels on you. But like 70% humidity here is like we're we're chilling. Obviously 60 degrees and we're very, very chilling. But I just have a hard time breathing. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Like there's a reason like both my kids have had to have like breathing machines when they were kids, and we my ex and I have come to learn that that's actually pretty normal. A lot of kids down here have breathing because like their lungs just got to adjust to how thick the air is down here all the time. You know, and then like for me, I don't think twice about it. Look here, son of a bitch, just get back here. You know, I don't. And the West is on fire. Oh, really? I know Canada's got it going on. I don't know if anything going on in like the LA area or the California area. But like, yeah, I don't think anything about the air being thick because I'm so used to it. But say like for example, if I move to, a place like Minnesota or something like that, I know that the first couple of years I'm gonna struggle with breathing and stuff like that because everything's gonna be so different, like obviously something place like Colorado, it's, a mile up in the damn sky, the air is just different. So I'm probably gonna have breathing problems. Like if I live there, I'm gonna have breathing problems for a very different reason than what you would have them for. No? Minnesota, you'd be fine. Yeah, you're correct when I moved down here. Yeah, I mean, it's more like adjusting to the weather in Minnesota, definitely. Like, obviously, winter, it's, ridiculously cold up there in winter, so I'd have to figure out that. But I mean, luckily, I'm a winter lover. Like, please give me winter all the year. Uh, so yeah, I'd have to adjust to, like, that would be the weather I'd have to adjust to. And I'm sure on top of that, there'd be things like, because of that, like the way the summer is, and like, let me look this up, Minnesota. Uh, oh, weather. Like it's 58 right now. Let me just pull this. Yeah, poor air quality because of the fires. But yeah, their humidities are like in the 30%, 30, 30% right now too. We got a little bit of rain coming this week, so that'll change things. But like, yeah, their humidities are also significantly lower than what they are in Florida. Like Florida, if it gets below 70, that's kind of a surprising day. If it gets above 90, then we just had rain. It's like Florida always sits in that 70 to 90 range. That's a humidity, so like the air just always feels, you know, like you have swamp ass. Also, I love my mother to pieces, but holy shit, I think I'm gonna buy her some shades for her car because she didn't have any. So when I went to go do my therapy today, I sat like turned on the car and it was like 105 degrees inside the car. Glad that worked. It's crazy I've run this place as much as I have and I'm still getting uh Mog, like weapon Mog in particular. Watch 2D app. Do you do that on IG? Hang on, I gotta ban this bot. Ban. Yes, okay. look real quick. Holy shit. God damn. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's something. That is something. It's like really funny to me. People always talk about like not wanting to live in the South because of all the, they're like, oh, you guys get hurricanes. Once with great action containment. Okay. So it's about, well, based on that photo, it looks like a little more than half of them, if not two-thirds. Arizona needs to kick their shit up. So does Washington. All of theirs are. After the fire here, I downloaded that app because it was big scary. Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's really funny. People always talk about like, oh, they're like, how do you live in an area that has a lot of hurricanes? Like the truth is with the hurricanes is that like you for the most part get like up to a week's notice. So you have a ton of time to prepare. You know, whether it's evacuating and getting your animals out, whether it's just battening down the hatches at your home. Like I remember for Hurricane Sally when that came through, uh, like we, I mean, it wasn't expected to hit us initially until it took that hard turn east that it did. Uh, and so once it took that hard turn east, we were like, okay, yeah, we gotta prep. But that storm moved so slowly. It was moving like 7 miles an hour at the time. Uh, and so like when it became clear that it was going to come to, my area, we just, we put our trash cans inside the garage. I parked my car sideways up against the garage. My wife had hers inside the garage. We had a trampoline at the time and we just took the poles off and lowered them down and then took some cable straps that my dad had and lowered that because the trampoline itself was nailed down into the um, nailed that into the ground itself. So like we had all that time and then it was basically just like I mean, I literally sat in the front office, which is like, a double window right by my desk. And uh, and we just watched the storm early. Like, it's kind of interesting sometimes to watch uh, the storm itself. Like I remember during Hurricane Ivan when I was a senior in high school that like one of the funniest things about it was that like again we had plenty of notice that it was coming our way, so we were able to go. But there was a house being built not too far from us, and of course they had like the porta potty out there and all that stuff. And nobody came by to actually do something about the porta potty. Like the construction company forgot, so we just watched it do circles in the cul-de-sac that we were in. Um, for like an hour. Uh, yeah, we lost power. Ivan was bad. We lost power for like 9 days. But 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 we were able to kind of prepare, and because of that, like we were able to take a bunch of precautions. And like I know that like we're not in an area in our part of the Florida that we live in, like where my parents were living at the time and where I live now. Like we're not in any danger uh, of flooding. So I don't live in like the lowland areas. Like if I live downtown in Pensacola, yeah, that area is flooding. Depending on the size of a hurricane, you're probably gonna have to get out and go somewhere else. But like because I live a little more inland where there's actually some elevation, uh, we were able to just sit down with it. You know. Now tornadoes, 100% agree. I don't because a lot of the times they're so sudden. Now tornado technology is getting a lot better to where like we're able to better predict when the conditions are right for tornadoes, but they still just kind of drop out of nowhere to the point that you're like, nope. Like I'm more worried about tornadoes than I ever am about most hurricanes. Category fours, category fives. I've been through a couple of those in my life. Yeah, those are definitely scary. Because like at times your whole house is moving, feels like it's moving, like it's rattling and swifting with storms that are that powerful. Because you're talking 150, 160 mile an hour winds. But yeah, tornadoes count me out. I'm out. And wildfires, I mean, I guess I haven't ever because I've never been in an area that's dealt with them. They seem probably a little more scary than what they are to me. But like, I know that fire can be very uncontrollable, and not being able to do anything about something that is that wild, that untamed, is like scary as shit to me. All right, get the glittering ball of yarn, buddy. You cute. Okay. Wait on my friends. They need to basically clean up their lockout. They accidentally screwed it up. So, gonna help that one. If corridor creepers so I can run them all. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, let's see. Anyone else send me a message about what they're planning for season 3? Love that. Cat got the offhand Azonoth. I remember doing this achievement when it was current, and like, my goodness. Let's see. Oh, nice. Got my Twitch drop. Oh, got the flight goggles. Hell yeah. Been looking. That's one of the big mods that I've been looking for. Is that? So I got one of the ones I needed. We take that. Trying to think. There's not too many things left in this dungeon mog wise that I want. I think I have this now. It is. There is one weapon. I think I have Touch of Madness now. Like I basically just want all the weapon mogs because I love weapon mogs, frankly. Like I got Void Saber, I know that. Got that one actually on my warrior run. But I need to go through and find like what weapon mods I'm still wanting. Like Warglaives have got a lot to get done with Warglaives. But there's some one-handed swords that I want. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I gotta do some of the like I want this one, so I gotta go do Sanctum. So like yeah, I just want to grab some of the swords and stuff. Just bought the new bathing suit, Mogs and mount. Is that in the shop or is that the like the traveler's log? Oh, I need to go do that. The shop. Okay. All right, so we're actually gonna do one more character. Shop 15, which is an awful. Okay. Oh, Imora got it. I was like, what killed it? It was Imora. All right, let's see. I accidentally did this on normal, so we're about to find out. Nope. All right, whatever. Alright, well, let me go switch to the monk real quick. What if I should eat that? Probably shouldn't eat any more food. I don't know if I'm hungry yet or not. Debating dessert. It's also almost 9 o'clock. I probably shouldn't be eating really anything else. Finish sure and probably go to sleep so tired. No, I perfectly fine, fella. Flying all over the place. Oh, cast group still not quite getting through the galley. Bring it on, boys. Hitting double jump because I'm so used to being on Evoker. Dude, this is one of my favorite bosses to do hard mode. This one in Firefighter. Really? Didn't hit one dude? Oh, I remember that one was annoying to do. Good night, Bella. Appreciate it. It always scares me, but whatever, we did it. Yeah, that boss does have like the scary death scream. Oh, I sat on my foot. Foot fell asleep. Ow! 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 Ouch! Ouch! I'm dumb. That's what I get for sitting on my foot. Oh. His voice is like the most stereotypical middle 2000s voice ever. I'm stuck in combat, but that's our favorite boy. Love us some Florendo. See, people like do all this like lockout fiddling and with like this stuff. I just don't care enough. Now this right here, still to me, is one of the coolest ways to get to a boss. No, they just started a fresh pool. Okay. Yeah, I got in the corner of the wall. Oh, she was in the room. Okay. They're figuring out their lockout stuff before I go in and kill this thing. You even save the lockout where it's at? It Drip's wife logged in. Ooh, boy. They're starting a fresh pool here. Oh, by the way, if you are not following, well, hang on. Get Candid in here. One of the best songs from Mass Effect. But this is my friend Kath, right here, Kath Array. If you are following her, do me a favor, go follow her. She's trying to get to 1,000. She's amazing. Yes, she's a VTuber, but she is awesome. No one gave her. Hang on, we gotta fix this. Where is the bun Kath? So you can redeem your channel points, and it gives her. Oh, see, bunny ears. So she is amazing. You should go follow her. She's got a great personality. Love her to pieces. She has a YouTube channel. She does ASMR on. So if you're into that, she has some different types of ASMR. I actually have one that I use to listen to her quite a bit. It's a 30-minute ASMR that she does that I listen to as a way to wind down before bed. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna have to figure. I went to. So my microphone is like right here, right up here. You can see my hand glowing red. Um, just because for streaming, it just feels better for it to be up there for me. But I'm gonna have to like think about when I do my reaction videos. I'm probably gonna have to move it a little bit. We'll see. Because I do have a couple that I need to get done. Oh man, they talking about food in that Discord. Holy shit. Okay. I mean, I prefer this one over her. Alright. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Uh, that's the first mount I've gotten from this collection bounty event. Literally the first one. Your favorite in that shit. Finally got one from this fucking event. That's like literally the first one. That isn't like a guaranteed drop. Like I got like Sark 3D I got. Just, you just zone back in real quick and see if Also, this like room right here is like one of my favorites in WoW. Like it's nuts how good it is. Also, banger boss room here. Also, the voice of Algalon, so good. This song also hits really hard for multiple reasons if you're a huge Mass Effect fan. Alright. About this motherfucker. So goddamn happy, dude. So happy. Added him as favorite, I bet. Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna try to jump into a key or two, over the next 90-ish minutes that I plan on streaming, and then I'm gonna head off to sleep, and we'll be back tomorrow to do it all again. So be right back real quick. All right. Probably should stay able. Probably not gonna. I need a fucking priority. I need priority, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna look specifically for priority. Priority flame. It's a keystone. Probably should tank it, but I don't want to. I want to zug zug. We shall see. Think I'm getting into that 18 at a 668 item level? Probably not. Don't need a 7. Probably won't get into the 12. Don't need the 4. That's a 7. I don't want to do that 8. Dude, there's like no priority keys out there. Alright, well, let me see if I get into this one. If I do, great. If I don't, then I've got a 9 I can list. That'll get me one step closer. I think that gives me 3 characters at 2,500 if I can get. Oh, my radar settings got reset somehow. Okay. Let's just refresh and see what's there. Eh, no 8s, no 9s. Sign up for that just to see. Oh, it canceled. Okay. Not getting a 15. Alright, cool. We'll just start mine here. And I'll just take it. It's fine. Oh, damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Alright, hang on. I gotta put Kath back up. Ooh. Jesus Christ. I'm not doing my own stream. Bullshit. No. Cathay. And then there we go. And YouTube, you know, let's do some different music. We'll do some lo-fi here. I've got 4 characters over 2,500. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's bring you in. Why not? This character's not correct. I don't know, I canceled. They were low, I let them low anyways. Let's see. Ragnaros versus Bleeding Hollow. Alright, well, there's my hero. There's my battle res. Sorry, hunters. Someone's clearly just farming. Getting all the pings right now. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's people telling me what they're playing for season 3. Okay, that's acceptable reason to ping me right now. Most people know I'm streaming, so like I'm not hiding it. Fucked up my shield block. Yeah, that's right, I'm good, so. I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna kind of miss these tier sets for tanks, like where you just kind of get a free defensive. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but where did he go? Oh, he's right there. That's up there. It's alright. Oops. Oops. Hit the button a little early. Give these DPS something to do, eh? Screw up my timings on that again. Sorry. Can I still count myself as a noob since I didn't main this class at all? Nobody hit it that? What? I got a little hairy. Alright. Pull that instead of. Okay, oh, got Keystone Legend. That bleed that fucked my life up. That right there is like Prop Warrior 101 on like everything that's wrong with Prop Warrior, like in 3 seconds. Watch this bleed just fuck my life up right now. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. I asked. He said go. Oh, I should have saved that spear. That's bad of me. Whatever, it's fine. Good, get around there. All right, Dice It's Smooth 9 there. I'm gonna switch over to. Let's see. I don't play Fury or Arms. I'll play Fury. Let's see if I can find a 10. I just want to zug my brain before I go to sleep tonight. So might as well spend these crafts. I'm not gonna do anything else with them. All right, can't buy. So let's go ahead and just wait. Let's keep upgrading these myth items. Might as well. I wonder, what do the boots turn into on the thing? Let's check that, and then I'll check the. And I'll swap, and we'll sit in LFG for a while. Oh, Haste Mastery. Oh, transform those. The ones I have now are Crit Mastery. Okay, so let's save prot set. That's a plus set. That's good. Let's do this. Let's Equipment Manager. Upgrade you. Let's go buy a Defender's March. We'll just 2-star for now because we're replacing this gear in a couple of weeks. Jump into this 11. Motherload. Alright. So now, let's see, we got a Bloodlust, we got Battle Res, so now they just need... I mean, anything, honestly, like a Monk would be really good for... For my DPS, frankly. Or... Shit. Whatever. So the plan is tomorrow we'll be doing Heroic Alt Raid. I'll stream that. And then Shaman works too. Wind Fury. Doing that. Friday I might actually do a short stream. But I don't know if I'm going to do it in WoW. I think I might do like a Marvel Rivals stream. Just to do something a little bit different. Unless people ask me to play WoW, of course. We'll just do something a little bit different on stream. I've been trying to add more variety nights in. I do Final Fantasy VII streams. I'll be doing another one of those probably either on the 26th or the 27th, one of those days that weekend. Real quick, I'm gonna go. I got my AC this smidge. And pull back up cast stream. Put her back where I had her. We're gonna ride our snail. Please don't do a stupid route. Please don't do a stupid route. Oh, he's doing a stupid route. Alright, well, fuck him. Oh, no, he's not. I'll say, yeah, let's not do... And all my buttons are slightly different per character here. Hey, why don't tanks just do normal shit in this dungeon, man? They never do never do normal shit in this dungeon. Why? Bro, what are you doing? That Druid is not experienced tanking this, you can tell. I mean, it's alright, I guess, but it's 11? Like, you would want some of that. Oh boy, this tank. Trying to be respectful, but goddamn. Hate that pull too. Okay. His funeral. I need to go look at the reworked Hunter tier set or Warrior tier set for Mountain Thane to see if it actually is like worth a shit. I haven't looked at it. Oh, oh, recklessness. This. Dude, BM Hunter OP on that fight. Holy shit. Oh no, I'm silenced. I can't swing my swords. Oh, this dude's motherfucking brave. Not sure what happened there, actually. Go, whoever put one more time on Cap Stream is a baller. Pretty good lineup. All right. 2600, we take that. Eh. I'm not going to offer to trade, though. You know, I think I'm going to go ahead and end a little early tonight. I've been going 3.5 hours, which is about what I normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go raid Calf. You guys support Calf. She is amazing. And cheer her on as her team tries to go get Mythic Gallywix. So everyone give her a big old shout out.